You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl, and Sun King Brewery. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The entire crew is here. Starting off with my man, Longevity with the branding. I see you on the t-shirt. How are you, sir?
Doing great.
Carl, was that a clear your throat? You all right?
I think so. Do you want me to do it again?
I mean, if you need to, there you go.
'Cause I don't know what I didn't even realize I did it.
You all right?
I think so.
Nougat?
Tired. It's been a long day, but yeah, I'm doing all right.
Good to see you, my brother, as always. Jay Moore, how are you, sir?
As always, blessed and highly vaccinated. You know, take it but not high, flapping but can't fly.
Spin that game. I like it. DJ Jay Diff also doing some branding. What y'all know by now, if you've been following me, I'll be the spokesperson for that. How are you, sir?
Salutations. I'm well.
Well?
Yeah.
Good.
Better than okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. We appreciate y'all for being in the building as well. They've been lit in the pre-show, so we really appreciate that. My man Red August is back. On-site producing, doing what he does. He was out there getting that paper. I ain't gonna count his pockets, but the boy has some business.
You know what's funny though, Mike?
Huh?
What's funny is when you
What'd I
say
do?
you always start out, you say the entire crew is here, even if their entire crew is not here.
He did that last week.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's like,
love
the
it.
entire crew is here.
I appreciate y'all for helping me out. You know, it's been it's 5 years, man. You know, I slip here and there. So
It's fine.
Habits.
hold your boy accountable, though. I
Habits.
appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Somebody keep a tally of how many times Mike says like this episode.
We gonna count them?
Yeah.
All right. I'm now I'm not gonna say it. Like, all right.
It's like from Star Trap. I like it.
Nah, man.
I
Nah.
like it.
I forgot about that. That album still needs to come out. by
Still
the
got
way.
the beats.
Where the stems at the practice stems we had?
I don't know. where
Somebody
they are.
lost them.
Lone has to have them filed somewhere properly.
I have all
I
those
was to
sessions
guess.
saved. So if we record, oh no, they were on your phone though,
Yeah.
right? You guys did phone
Oh, yep. They gone then.
saves.
Yeah.
Sorry about
You
that.
still got the same Samsung, right?
Okay, let's go ahead and get started with because I see you trying to get my blood pressure up.
I am.
Let's go ahead and let's jump into the first topic.
I got the same phone.
So, this was actually going to be a part of a question from an article that we're going to do for another topic, but we can go ahead and do it now for the first one. And this is as it relates to the concept of a perfect or flawless album in hip hop. Do we think that exists?
Absolutely.
Can you? My question is: can you give me an example of what's the closest? In
We
your
kinda
opinion,
just talked about some in the pre-show.
go ahead, Jada.
AT-Aliens.
Perfect album, flawless.
In my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, there may be a couple verses on there that I could have did without, but overall, that mug is flawless.
Change someone's mind, man. You got to sell it to me if you're gonna tell me why
Not
it's
really.
flawless. Well, you don't have to sell me. I'm talking about just the people.
Is it a
you know,
perfect? Is it really a perfect album if you could change some things on it?
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
All right, well. All right. Songs in the Key of Life.
Well,
I mean,
I
that
don't
not
know
a
if I can.
perfect album?
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can argue with that one. I'm biased. I love Stevie, so take me out of the equation. I'm biased. I will openly say I'm biased to Stevie. That's a
what
good
about
suggestion.
hip hop though? I feel like that's a hard.
okay.
I feel
Yeah,
like
back to hip hop.
That's like a harder.
I was about to give
Yeah.
you a jazz album, but never mind.
I mean, I would do In Rainbows by Radiohead. I think that's a perfect.
album.
Yeah.
All right, but back to hip hop though. Give me a hip hop album, Lone, that you think.
I don't know.
You don't think?
No,
Doggy Style is perfect.
I can't comment on it.
Mm.
I don't remember.
Doggy
I
Style
don't remember
is-
the track list. Like
Doggy
that.
Style is amazing.
Yeah, you know
There's
what?
a lot of tracks on Doggy Style too.
Not
though.
really. Not
What's
really.
the track? I can't remember. I got to look it up because I'm
No, because
old.
I remember the first time I heard Doggy Style, and I'm like, it's the first album where like I just listened to the whole thing front to back,
Yeah.
and then had to listen to the whole thing front to back again.
19 tracks.
a lot.
That's a
but
lot
you
for
know,
a perfect album.
a lot of that's interludes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Good Kid, Mad City.
Perfect
Yeah.
album.
That was the first probably album since Doggy Style
Yeah.
where I was just like, I didn't turn it. I didn't think. Oh, let me reach over. I'm not feeling
I
this.
agree with you. On that.
Shout out to my man Jesse too, because we talked about this. It was kind of like a supportive suggestion. He gonna hate that Kendrick comment too. That's why I'm laughing.
You know, this could be debated, but I think Below the Heavens is up there.
I can dig that.
I really love Below the Heavens
because that has no skips on it for me.
It doesn't. The thing is, it's a topic that we're going to talk about as it relates to Ghostface and Iron Man, but one of the reporters said that Iron Man could potentially be the best album of the 21st century in hip hop.
I'm not going.
No.
And that's what kind of got me thinking about this.
Well, yeah, because Iron Man
Clientele is better than,
and plus Iron Man is in the 20th century.
Well, that's what the writer said. So
Supreme Clientele is better than
so I'm like
Iron Man.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to miss.
We already throw that out.
Hold on. Let me make sure, Jay Moore, because I do not want to. I don't want to. Yeah, he said 21st century.
Yeah, he's just wrong. He's off by 3 years.
Yeah,
I see where he was going.
Supreme Clientele.
Supreme Clientele.
Where's his editor?
What about Food and Liquor? How close is that?
Oh man,
that's pretty close.
That's a good suggestion.
The Cool.
Or the Cool, maybe even.
Nah, Food and Liquor's better than the Cool.
Food and Liquor before the
Man,
I might be confusing because like I had a bootleg of Food and Liquor.
I did
it's
too.
A
That's
little bit different.
Food and Liquor to me is better than the Cool, in my personal opinion.
I think I agree with that because when at the time, like I liked almost everything.
Here's one, and people, and here's two because people might say, oh, well, they were too short, whatever. B by Common.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, now
not a skip on there.
There we go.
I wouldn't change one.
The food.
Yeah,
the food is a skip for you. The live version?
I would have rather had them go ahead and put the studio version. There is a studio version.
I like the live version though.
I like it too. But I wanted it to bang in the car. No,
it doesn't bang.
Is that enough for a flaw?
Yeah.
To you, it is.
Somebody made a conscious decision to go ahead and put the live version on.
That album is
the Fix by Scarface is flawless to me.
I like that one. I don't know if I agree, but I like that one. I'm not mad at that one.
I'm still more of a diary guy, even though I love the Fix.
That's a good one. That is good. No, man. I see where you're going with the food, but
look, I know this for some people. I would give Illmatic. There's no, even though it's only 39 minutes long. There's no skips on Illmatic.
Nate Jeezy gonna hate that because he hates on Illmatic. We argue repeatedly over this.
Like Water for Chocolate is probably my favorite hip hop album as a whole, but I don't think it's a flawless album.
We heard that album at the same time. I remember.
It's just
like I love that album, but like
there's areas where I skip.
Like they're minimal though. A film called Pimp. I was like,
that's the one.
Yeah, they're minimal.
That's the one I could have done without.
Yeah,
and I was excited. I was like, oh, MC Light's on here, and I was like, I heard, and I was like,
let me jump into the chat real quick because I think I'm seeing some albums start to pop up. So we got
the Fix, Death
Certificate. Oh yeah, The Chronic.
Yeah.
Low End Theory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the ones we named. Jeezy said AT Aliens, 𝗏 Supreme Clientele, Doggy Style, Midnight Marauders. The Blueprint minus Hola Vito, Brother Tonight. I actually like that. This one not as much as the other one. The Hack said Iron Man. B is a classic, The Flood. Okay. Yep. Blueprint, Jay-Z.
Only Built for Cuban Links. As good as it is.
See, I listened to Only Built for Cuban Links last week. And it's a good album. So I listened to Immobilarity first because we were talking about Immobilarity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I listened to Immobilarity. Yeah. And I was like, okay, now let me listen to Only Built for Cuban Links. Only Built for Cuban Links is a solid album, but
solid?
Yeah, solid. Is that
you wanted more? He wants more.
What is solid?
He wants more than
solid. Solid to me makes it sound like it's good.
No, solid means solid as a rock. There's a song called Solid as a Rock.
I took that wrong. All right, I got you.
Solid. It ain't nothing soft about it.
I feel you. Okay.
But it's one of those albums that to me, with time, sometimes certain things sound a little different. Yeah. And with me listening to it in 2021, it didn't quite sound as alluring as it did to me when I was younger. And it's still a good album, don't get me wrong. But if I'm picking out of the Wu-Tang albums or the members albums, Supreme Clientele is probably the number one
top
Wu album.
I have a friend of mine, shot DJ Too Deep. He actually went through and re-edited Only Built for Cuban Links and took the skits out so he could just get right to the music.
Oh, for real?
He actually did a really good job.
You know what also probably doesn't have is 36 chambers. Does that have any skips?
No, not to me.
I don't think it does.
I don't think
either.
it does, but I still don't. I would. With that being said, I still would not put it on the level
but
of
the
Supreme.
imperfections.
No,
are
I don't
what-
think so
The
either.
imperfections are what makes that album.
Hold on,
perfect.
let me see.
The fact
check
that like
the chat.
it barely sounds like it's mixed in certain parts compared to like.
Right.
I think I saw
later
Death
albums.
Certificate in there.
Yes.
So people are
Oh,
saying solid sounds average.
See, that's
I'm not meaning average when I say solid. Maybe I need to word it a little different.
see because you see my initial reaction.
It's not an average album. Like generally, if I say an album's solid,
Yeah.
that means I really mess with it. If I say, it was cool.
Yeah, we know
that's
what it
where
was
I'm
cool.
kind
Yeah,
of
when
like,
we say something is cool, it'd be like, eh.
Yeah,
But what
that's-
about, so if you say, to me, there's a difference between, okay, the album is solid versus, man, that album is crazy. Like you hear how that sounds, it's like, man, that album is crazy
Right.
versus it's solid.
The Adventures of Slick Rick. Smooth Hoosier and Brother to the Night. I really like the art of storytelling. And now,
Come on, man, you already know.
And I know that for regular people that has skips on it, but I play that front to back, except for maybe the live joints at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the Adventures of Slick Rick was a class. You know what?
It Takes a Nation. P.
That mug was, yeah. We don't really mention that album.
Yeah.
That mug was really good.
What about
Death Certificate? I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's nothing on there where I'm like, nah, I could have done without this.
Death Certificate?
Yeah, Death Certificate.
You think that's a solid one? Solid suggestion?
And even as much as I love, and I've always talked about my love for Chuck D and Public Enemy, but
Yeah.
I could do without Party for Your Right to Fight.
Okay.
But it's not that. It's literally. I think that's the last song on the album. I was like, I didn't.
What about?
I knew what they were doing, but I was like, nah.
क़EMini has like a couple tracks in like the early teens that I could do without. Otherwise, it's there. Maybe it's just one.
What about Pete Rock and CL Smooth first album? That's a good album.
See, I don't know it.
It's a good album, but that was actually the first CD I
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah, yeah.
But
it's a really good album.
It might not be
I'm one of those people. I don't know
though.
if it's perfect. I'm one of those guys that like the main ingredient better than Mecca and the Soul Brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What about,
love the main ingredient?
What about Black Star?
There's
I skipped some.
What about Reflection Eternal?
No, I definitely
No,
skipped some.
I love that album. Sorry, I love
It's
that
not
album.
as good as
I
Black
love
Star
it
to me.
too.
I love that album. It ain't
definitely
perfect
skipped
though.
some on there.
Yeah, it ain't perfect. This is a good question because we all know music and sports and anything is subjective, but there are some albums that just stick out. The ones that everybody's
Graduation
naming.
to me, there's no skip song.
Graduation.
Yep.
Drunken Hot Girls.
Ah, damn.
Got him. Yep. My Dark Twisted Fantasy will be my
The
nomination.
monkey wrench.
That would be my nomination if I was going to pick a Kanye album. I know Lone hates it thoroughly, but
I'm gonna need you to come back and restate yourself.
Oh, sorry. My Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye would be my suggestion. Lone thinks it's okay. Is that better?
No, you can
We
do
just
better.
talked about how
You can do better. You can do
it
better.
has not aged as well.
It
as
is
his
not
other
aged well.
albums.
Is that the correct thing to
Not
say?
aged as well as where I thought it.
Y'all are out of y'all minds on that, man. Like that.
When's
that
the last
takes
time
still
you listened
bothers
to it front to back?
today coming over here.
Quit lying.
Yeah, that sounds like some.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. That album is fire though.
Corey T said that Things Fall Apart is perfect. I would
Mm-hmm.
almost agree with you, and I love that album. But there's like one or two songs on there that I'm kind of cool.
Corey, that's close though. That's
Yeah.
close. That's a really good suggestion.
It is though.
I slept on that one. Red August, I
That's
know you off
actually
the mic.
that's one of my favorite
Bandana.
albums from The Roots. Things Fall Apart.
Red August, I know you off the mic. Just throw me one real quick before we go to the next topic.
Bandana's up there, but I would also say,
𝗲𝗏𝗃? Red August says a 𝗲𝗏𝗃.
where's the set? I think "Care for Me" by Saba
Oh,
is. I don't really think
that's close.
I don't think
That's a good album.
I don't think that needs any changes in it.
Yeah, I can dig that.
That's a curveball for me. That album is fire
I
though.
really like, and I know it's not people's favorites from him, but I really like "Pieces of a Man" by Mick Jenkins too.
Don't say that, Red August,
What'd
because
you
Nate Jeezy gonna throw a bomb in the chat. He said Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. That is a see. Look at Jay Moore, be careful, man. That album is almost,
Brother
in my
to the
opinion,
Night with
it's
No
almost
Worries. That is, you are correct, sir.
No
And
Worries.
since we talking about Anderson .Paak, I gotta throw Malibu in there
As a nominee.
Yes.
If we stepping outside of the genre, at least for me, like I'll just say any Heartbreak, I can listen to that.
Oh yeah,
today front to back.
Yeah, that age.
You talking about when you talk about New Edition, album that was slept on is Home Again.
Yes, I agree.
That album, if you go back and listen to that album, it's really good.
And they were discombobulated like a mug when that album came out.
Still, when you listen to Heartbreak, the fact that it's a concept album.
Yeah.
And how many singles on that record? Like five or six?
Technically, but like when New Edition had their run as separate, like MCA quietly put Boys to Men out as a single.
Oh, okay.
So there are six singles, and
they performed joints off that album.
They could do if they did that if they just did that album front to back.
Yeah,
I would feel like I saw a great show.
Yeah. I heard they might get a residency in.
Oh no, it's already. Yeah,
it's confirmed.
That.
Okay,
yeah.
That'd be a good show to see. All right, I'm trying to watch the clock. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Appreciate you for the chat. Salute y'all for having the comments. Red August, I don't know, he was mumbling. I think he mad at me. All right, let's get into this next topic. So it's the 25th anniversary just passed for Ironman, and there was a interview with Ghostface from 𝗀𝗋, and I read through the whole article. Dope interview, but I was kind of shocked to hear Ghost talk about how certain things were questionable about this project. He talked about where his head was, and he was a diabetic back then, is what he said. He lost one of his friends, and went to jail. Like the 90s were tough on him, and he's like, that's why you got records like All That I Got, and some of those joints on there sounded the way they sounded. But to me, that album is such a great album. It's kind of weird to hear him say that, it's not one of his favorites. Like he kept pumping up Supreme in the article. Like the interviewer was like, it almost was like he didn't even really want to talk about Ironman. Like everything was more about Supreme Clientele and even part 2 that's about to come out. But some of the things that jumped out to me that he said was RZA came to him with the beats first, and he started to pick them before everybody else, like the blaxploitation type joints. He started having RZA set him to the side early before everybody else got to him. He was going to go between the name Supreme Clientele and I think Ironman for the first album. He was going to decide which one was which, but I guess Ray and RZA helped him decide to go with Ironman. But iconic album, we already know that, but it's just weird to hear him say, he made such a great album in just a weird state. Like for all of us though, how did that album impact you? Like when you first heard it, and are you even shocked about what Ghost said about the way he felt? Like Jay Moore, I'll come to you first. Like, what are your thoughts about him being so nonchalant about Iron Man?
I'm not shocked at all, because a lot of times the relationship that we as consumers have with art is completely different than the way artists have a perception of their own art. You could be going through the craziest time in your life, and I've heard Redman say similar things about There Is a Dark Side.
Yeah.
I heard Joe Budden talk about when he was making something, as opposed to when it came out and everybody else heard it. Like, I'm in a different place now. I almost don't want to perform these songs anymore.
Mood music.
Because it puts me into that dark place where I created this particular art. And so when we hear it, like I think about, I can say exactly where I was, and I had a couple of older homies in college. Shout out to SIU Carbondale Salukis, who had he had a hookup at Dr. Wax in Chicago, so he was getting the singles. So we had already been banging 𝐀𝐁𝐎 and Daytona 500
early,
because that was the A and the B side.
Yeah.
So we couldn't wait for the whole album, and so we wound up getting that. I remember it because a lot of people don't talk about this anniversary just because it's a different. It wasn't as successful. Movement wasn't the same, but OGC's The Storm came out the same day. So I remember
Original Gun Clap.
Exactly. So shout out to 𝗏𝗏 and Duck Down and that whole movement. But when we got remember getting both those albums the same day with my man Creighton, and we drove back to St. Louis because it was like we had a weird like Halloween break because, at one point they was tearing up the town during Halloween. So they just said, "Are we going to send all you kids home?" And so I remember the ride listening to both of these albums and just being blown away by both. But Ghostface, like when like I always say, there's a hole in your soul somewhere if you hear All That I Got Is You.
Talk to him.
And there's something that doesn't make you feel some type of way, even if you can't relate to exactly what's going on in that song, just the emotion of it. If you know the sample by the Jackson 5 and the way they flipped that, and the fact that Mary J. Blige was on the album, but like label politics, she couldn't be in the video. I remember all
video
these
was
things.
classic.
So you're just talking about how you feel about a particular piece of art. A lot of times we don't think about how the artist feels hearing these songs that come from a place of struggle and despair and sometimes depression. And that was the driving force behind these things. Sometimes some of the best art does not come from a good place. Like if anybody's seen the Mary J. Blige documentary,
I saw it.
A lot of her albums,
a lot of her stuff does not come from a place of happiness or I was doing this at this time. It comes from a real place of despair and depression. And for these songs that we think are hits and might have got us through a certain time in our life, look, that artist may not want to hear that song again because it reminds them of exactly where they were in their life.
What it is too was therapeutic for a lot of them to get that out and give it to you.
Right.
It's almost like you were saying, they're in a dark place and they don't want to revisit it, but they had to get that out in order to move on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a cultural iconic piece, so people hold on to it, and people have different experiences with that body of work than the actual creator of it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like I don't know about y'all, but it's weird for me to even go back and listen to the show and hear myself talk. And it's not that I'm weird or weird about it, or I mean, this is a therapy session for me too in our case, but it's not anything dark. I'm just weird about hearing myself, so I can kind of understand where he's coming from, especially considering all the things that he was going through at that point in time in his life.
Lone, I'd be curious to hear what you say about this as well, because you have put out multiple projects, and I know your writing process and how you go about music. Like, what do you think about him, saying these certain things about such a classic album? Because I know you can relate.
There's lots of music and stuff from the past. Pretty much whenever I finish a project, I get tired of it.
Because you've listened to it over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, like, even when people were like praising Frozen Liquor when it came out, it was just kind of like, I listen to it, I just hear mistakes a lot of times, or I just hear, it's just like, I wish I did said this differently.
Because you're listening to it from an artist's point of view.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to know how you felt about it, because I know
it's not surprising. Like, okay. It's not surprising to me that Ghost is, to me, Supreme Clientele is. I know this is maybe not like a popular conversation necessarily, but I feel like or a statement, but I feel like Supreme Clientele is way better than Iron Man.
Way.
So okay. Iron Man's good, but it's not the same in my opinion.
No.
I mean, Ghost seems to, from what I read, like, he seems to champion it. Like, loves it, and didn't want to talk about Iron Man that much. But Iron Man to me is such an iconic record. It's a little weird to hear him be, I guess, a little nonchalant about it. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I respect it, because from an artist standpoint, you never know what somebody's going through, to Jay's point and Cherry's point, when they're putting the record out. So, all right, man. I'm either way. I went back and listened to it just off nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had a 25th anniversary version, but I don't know what was different. Maybe one remix at the end,
or
not
singles, instrumentals.
That's what they're doing for a lot of these.
Yeah, I know. Like when the AT-Aliens 25 year,
they all the instrumentals.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of stuff that, especially when you think about the 90s, remember when everybody used to buy, CD singles or singles that might have
singles.
Yeah. And there were remixes and things on there that, like, honestly have been lost to time.
They actually had the acapellas and the instrumental joints on there.
When you think about the version of this is really taking it another place. The Brats Give It To You. The version that we all remember from the video, what was played on the radio, that's not the album version.
Right.
I like that version though. That's my favorite version, the video version.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not available on streaming. Like when you hear the Give It, like they would go and refine things, and then put them out and wouldn't call them a remix. Like it was the same thing with like 𝗏𝗏, because I was a fan of 𝗏𝗏, and there's
Polka
a song
Dots.
called,
𝗏𝗏 had
called One of the
album.
Big Boys, but the version on the album is different than the one that's in the video. So like it's just kind of crazy how like a lot of these things have been lost to time, if you will. Especially in a streaming era. Like if they don't put it out for streaming or that paperwork has not been signed.
We just talked about, was it last week where we mentioned records being grayed out on the streaming services? Was that last
there's
week?
even albums that you can't even find on, like I was listening to Murda Was a Case today. You have to listen to it in a YouTube playlist though, because you can't find it anywhere. Unless you have the original CD yourself.
It's not
but you can't stream it.
Is there a story behind that, or am I asleep? I
Once
can't
again,
remember.
it's probably a lot of the legal. So soundtracks are hard because the thing is, when all the artists are not on the record label that soundtrack puts out, like you have to get a lot of the stuff signed off on again. And like if the majority of the people who are on, like I don't think the Jason's Lyrics soundtrack is on streaming.
You can't even buy like
money. You can't even buy these songs digitally.
Yeah, like even the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, you can't buy not the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, the Higher Learning soundtrack. You can't buy Raphael Sadiq's song.
You can't buy you can't buy that.
I didn't know that.
You can't stream it. Like, and there's no, I don't know what the legalese is for that, but there's just certain things that are not available.
Excuse me, is the Boys in the Hood soundtrack full on there?
The Boys in the Hood soundtrack is on there.
Yeah, that, I meant to say Higher
Learning.
Okay,
but
I didn't know if
the song that everybody would want off of the Higher Learning soundtrack
you cannot buy.
Is not available for streaming or available for purchase.
Yep,
you literally have to have the CD and rip it and have, or know somebody who knows how to rip off of.
It's funny that Terry said Murda Was a Case as a playlist, because sometimes I go through YouTube to look for certain albums that you can't find, and it's funny that somebody's actually took the time to write all the credits, the name, features, and everything, and make a dope playlist. And that saves me sometimes, because sometimes you want to go back and listen to certain records and certain joints and just can't find them. And you think streaming would have, we always say streaming's got everything, but it really doesn't. Like,
or sometimes they're just like, it's crazy. Remember the group Another Bad Creation, how big they were? Like they sold like 2.5 million records.
Yeah.
And the only song available, at least through Tidal, as of when we're recording this, is Aisha. They have 2 whole albums, but they're not available for streaming.
Second album wasn't that great.
No, I mean nobody's missing that.
And they came out the box with that first one. I remember.
But the first one that had like you can't stream Playground.
Oh, man.
Or you can't stream their version of Jealous Girl.
Hey, Playground was fire when I was a kid. I remember that vividly.
My World on that album was fire.
Yeah, so they had like 4 or 5 singles off of that. Like I said, you got to understand Michael Bivins. For everybody who likes to talk about Puffy, and
Michael Bivins is Puffy before Puffy.
You got to understand, he brought Another Bad Creation did like 2.5. Boys and Men's first one did like 9.5.
Yeah. This
is one dude who basically brought 11, to 12 million records in the door, and
salute to Michael Bivins, man. He is
then went on and got 702 and Subway. He did a lot. Considering he was also the member of 2 other groups. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Their story is
his second album
unique.
Kind of suffered the consequences of him doing all that other stuff.
ABC.
No.
The second belt, the Hootie Mac album.
Hootie Mac Mac was trash.
We gonna go ahead and put that one. That's Nostradamus level.
Maybe 2 cuts on there.
This is something in your eyes.
The name Hootie Mac, I was like, what are we doing here?
It fit the time period though.
I did, but I was like, you coming off Poison, which had, come on, man, like y'all know the records that was on there.
Yeah.
So, I was cool on Hootie
Poison
Mac.
a flawless album?
Close.
That's a good suggestion.
Very close.
Lone loves Poison
because it's full of singles.
No, because they were able to do stadium tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a big pager on the stage,
and they only had one album. But that's how strong albums were. Like you could do him. It was them and Johnny Gill.
Yeah.
Or well, I mean, 𝗀𝐿 was on that tour too, but like he missed the St. Louis date because he broke his foot or something. So I didn't care. No, shout out to 𝗀𝐿, but I'm sorry. You know, they were just one of my guys. So they did a whole full stadium tour with guys that only had one album.
Yeah.
That's how strong people listen to albums back in the day.
Hey, I think you might.
Poison had probably 10 remixes too. Remember they had the UK remix.
Oh yeah.
I have a bunch of those.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. So you got Dope. Thought it was me. Let me know something. Do me. The Word to the Mother, the Crew joint. Poison. Ain't Nothing Changed. When Will I See You Smile? Another banger. I Do Need You, and then Poison extended to his point club version.
They did all those records in concert, and everybody
that might
knew
be
them.
a flawless album.
That might be.
I can't see anything on here that's.
Let me know. So I don't even remember.
No, I remember that song went.
See, I think all these might go, man.
I mean, from like I said, it might be a flawless album from my memory. I just don't remember how that particular song sounds.
We're gonna have Lone review that mug and
I'll do a TikTok review.
Yeah, I'd love to see you do a TikTok review of Poison by 𝗀𝗱𝗱.
I'll do a first time listening to it. Back.
Have you never listened to it?
I've heard singles.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they're gonna love you in the comments for this one. Oh man, I can't wait to read these. All right.
You don't have to worry.
All right, man. Red August says, can we shout out the partners real quick before we get into the second half? Or am I ahead of you, sir? Let me know. All right.
Cool.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. Sun King Brewery is what we're drinking on every episode. Check out their many local locations, and they might just be selling in your city if you're not in Indianapolis. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
All right, we are back. Shout out to our partners as always. Thank you for the cue, Red August, doing your job. About time. All right, let's go ahead and get into the second half of our show. So Ice Cube, legend, OG status. Turned down a $9 million offer to star in a film. I believe Jack Black, if I read it correctly. I'm sorry. Yeah. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Due to vaccination requirements on the set.
Was it even a requirement? I thought he just got asked if he would do it.
Oh, did I misread it? I thought
I could be wrong.
It says Ice Cube refused to work in a film for which he was offered $9 million because he was unwilling to get vaccinated for COVID-19. This is according to the Hollywood Reporter.
All right.
Cube don't need the bag. We know that. Like, he's beyond successful. Many movies, albums, iconic. But
first world problems.
Definitely. That's what this is.
When we're having a conversation about somebody that
you can turn down $9 million.
Yeah.
You know why?
I can't relate. I don't know what that feels like.
You know why he can turn down $9 million? Because he got more than $9 million.
Yeah, talk to him. I'm with you when you're right.
He got a whole basketball league.
Yeah. You think $9 million don't even... I'm like, they can only give Ice Cube $9 million for a movie?
He's getting royalties from music. He's getting royalties from film.
Okay.
I mean,
he's getting paid off the big $3 million is his league.
$9 million. If I'm Ice Cube, I'm not leaving the house for $9 million. No, that sounds wild.
I mean, he probably wanted to lead it. I think this is one of those cases where, and I'm not even saying that he's anti-vax or anything like that.
How does this make you feel when you see it? That was gonna be my question.
It doesn't really bother me like that because. I mean, if you decide you don't want to get vaccinated, that's
he made the decision.
That's another thing that I don't like how people are nailing people to the cross about this whole vax or no vax thing. Now, I'm personally pro-vaccine. Your body's been pumped full of vaccines your whole life, and this one particular vaccine is the one that you want to state your claim on. How many people do you know have chickenpox? How many people you know have polio? Diphtheria,
rubella.
Yeah.
See, these are things you don't even know what they are because they're gone.
But like, if he decides he doesn't want to get a vaccine, because they're trying to make him get a vaccine, and he's in a position to where he can say, well, I'm going to decline this role. I mean, I don't see any fault in that. Now, the only thing, the slippery slope is when something happens to you physically and then you wish you took it, because I would think your main asset in life is your health and livelihood versus the bag per se.
Agree.
So I don't know. I don't disagree with him for it, because like I said, I don't want to demonize somebody or nail him to the cross for not taking the vaccine. But again, this is first world problems. He doesn't have to take a vaccine, and he's not missing that $9 million.
Long jump in there. Do you have any thoughts as it relates to his choice, or pretty much what Terry said?
Pretty much. At this point in time, we've heard all this back and forth for a year now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm a little over it, but it's just like, for him specifically, he's not crying about not having the job because he wasn't vaccinated. He's just like, I just didn't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And so at that point, I can respect it at least, you know. So, you know, it is what it is at that point. You know, to turn down $9 million, what a great place to be.
You ain't lying. Does it I guess here's a question. Let's try this. Does it put out any certain message that rubs you the wrong way, being that he's such a prominent guy and has a lot of impact? Like, is there?
No, not really. I mean, again, I think it's how he approached it. Okay. You know, it's like he's
not crying about it.
He's not.
I agree with you about it. Everybody else is
at this point, I don't even know if it's a real story because he said so little.
It's like they're trying to make a story out of it. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
He was like, "Oh, that's no. I'm cool." You know, like, and all right, like, it's like the whole thing, like freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences. His consequences, he doesn't get the $9 million, and he's okay with it. And
whoop-de-doo in his position, because I can't say whoop-de-doo for $9 million
at all.
Throw me some money. I'll go get a third shot.
Jay Moore, talk to me, man. How does this make you feel?
You know, I don't have a problem with it, because once again, he's not whining about it. You know, and if you've seen how Ice Cube has moved in the last year or so, I'm not surprised that he's not vaccinated, or that he's not trying to get vaccinated. And you know what? I can respect the fact that he's like, yeah, $9 million isn't enough for me to go get this shot. And like, honestly, when I hear they only offering, Ice Cube has a clear track record of box office success.
Yeah. They lowballed him, huh?
I'm thinking $9 million for Ice Cube.
Yeah. It must be a small role.
You know, unless
he must be getting some back end
or something,
ticket sales.
Because I'm thinking, like, at this point, you know, he's shown pretty much between the ride along movies and I can't. He
hasn't dropped a dud.
Yeah,
unless you want to include Anaconda.
But Anaconda still slapped at the box office. You got to go to something like Ghost of Mars or something like that. Or
I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. Most of us forgot about that.
Was he in Leonard Part 6?
See, now you just.
I know you was good. I had a
good and goddamn well he wasn't in Leonard Part 6.
I didn't know.
He still had a Jerry curl when Leonard Part 6 was
so.
All right, y'all love Leonard Part 6.
Nobody loves Leonard Part 6.
You know, he was in those Friday movies.
Bill Cosby wasn't messing with NWA.
Yeah, so okay, we're gonna get past that foolishness Mike was talking about.
Sorry,
but like you look at Ice Cube's from the movies he's directed, he's produced, or acted in.
Any Cube Vision shows.
I said, $9 million seems kind of low for Ice Cube. So if
he probably got more than $9 million for Are We There Yet?
Yeah. So they made that into a TV show, and he owned part of that. Like I thought, like I said, if I've been getting it like Ice Cube has been getting it all this time, I might not even take the vaccine part of it out of it. I'm not leaving my house with my wife and my kids for $9 million.
As Ice Cube,
you got to do better than that. Yeah. Okay. You know, you're not even offering me enough money to change anything about my current lifestyle, so I'm not leaving the house for that. But once again, the fact that he's not even making a big deal of it, that speaks to who Ice Cube has pretty much always been.
Yeah.
And look, if you know these are the rules, and you're like, nah, I don't want to do that, and you just move away from, like, the part that gets me is that we still have people who are like, they're taking away my freedom of speech and my ability to feed my family and all.
You can say whatever you want to say.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Repercussions.
You know, it is what it is. Like, when, you know, because everybody's like, oh, it's a personal decision. Look, I'll tell you right now, when somebody asks me, hey, Jay Moore, you vaccinated? I said, you goddamn right I'm vaccinated. I had to get back out here and get this money. I can't be in here oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Red August missed it. We got it, though. We got it.
But I'm just saying that, like, I had to get back to this money. You know, Ice Cube is so solidified.
He's pretty much set for the rest of his life.
He doesn't have to worry about dying. Like, the thing, like, if you talk about, hey, Jay, you need to get vaccinated, we won't give you this $900. I'm gonna get out here and get this $900. Yeah. That's where I'm at. You know, so once again, just like you said, it's an incredible problem to have, to where you can be in a position where, you know, just getting a vaccine that already billions of people have had and have had no side effects from, and you're like, yeah,
depends who you talk to.
It's still,
that's what's crazy too.
It's still not worth.
Oh, it's a rabbit hole.
It's still not worth Think about it. There are people right now. QAnon, the conspiracy, listen to Brother Ankh 52 on Instagram. All those people, you can bring all those people together and you say, hey, I know none of you have gotten vaccinated, but if you get vaccinated, we'll give you $9 million. A lot of those people will be like, man, I don't believe in this that much.
Hey, Jay Diff, what do he say, brother? Who he say?
You know, look, you know, if you go on to Instagram and a person got a bunch of Dr. Umar videos and the red, black, and green,
and they're not mocking them.
Yeah, so you know, you know those people are not vaccinated.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay,
would you get another vaccine if somebody paid you a couple grand to be in an all black film?
What the hell are you talking
about? Pump it up.
You know, to answer your question,
like he wouldn't be in an all-black film.
I was asking.
To answer your question, since I'm so anti-black, I don't know. I might need a little bit more.
Okay, I was just.
What's the set like?
Just thought we talked about the nougat earlier, man. I was thrown off a little bit, so that's all.
What does nougat have to do with that?
Because I didn't know if it was culturally. He was talking about he used to eat nougat when he was a kid. I've never had.
First of all, yes, we've all had nougat. If you had a Snickers bar, if you had a Milky Way.
Nah, he said it like it was separate.
Three Musketeers.
Nah, he said it like I used.
You act like nougat is something specifically white people. They just eat out of bowls.
Bro, he said it like it was a cup of nougat that he was eating with a spoon. That's how it came off.
Am I wrong?
No, I don't.
Now I'm wrong.
What were you listening to? We were all in the same room.
We go through this every time, man.
This is comparable to the whole
biscuits and gravy. I already know what you're gonna say. I just thought
look.
I asked him. I said, "Did you grow up eating nougat?"
We can put a lot on our white brothers and sisters, but we know they are not just out here eating bowls of nougat. White people, I want better for you.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe cookie dough, but black folks.
We've had conversations about not understanding things. I'll just ask.
Where can you even buy?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Long came off like he eats nougat. I didn't know.
Hey, Chip, go in there and get that nougat. We're about to watch the game. We're going to get a bowl of nougat.
You know what though? I probably would eat a bowl.
Yo, that's all I'm saying, man. Don't disrespect.
Can you even spoon nougat?
I don't know.
You probably get stuck to it. You know,
it seemed like it would
sticky or like marshmarshlow flavor.
Listen, no
disrespect. To answer your question, yes, I'd get vaccinated being an all black.
That's all I need to know. But I didn't know about the nougat part. That's what threw me off.
I mean, that's gonna be like the deal breaker. Like, I'll get vaccinated, but if y'all ain't got no nougat on,
I gotta throw the nougat in there.
Listen, man, Long. I just didn't know. It came off like you grew up eating nougat. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I just
grew up eating like at holiday time. They get a green bean casserole and nougat and pull it out there as a dessert.
I'm tripping. I apologize.
All I said was that
with a Jello mold.
All I said was that
not a Jello mold. Why were they molding everything back in the 60s?
Because they could.
Yeah,
they could.
That's just nasty.
I'm tripping.
And it's like all I said was that old people like nougat and fig Newtons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard it wrong. I'm sorry.
That's exactly how I heard it too.
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
I've never been to an older person's house that didn't have a lot of nougat and a lot of fig
separate nougat. Just sitting around. Okay, fair enough.
You got to know somebody to get next to the good nougat.
Let me ask you this though, because I know in black families, like the older people, grandparents and stuff, they have a tin can full of candy.
The trash strawberries.
Yeah,
and butterscotch.
I like this. I like the
strawberries. Is fire.
Yeah, but
butterscotch is.
But you can only have like one or two, and then you're tired of them though.
Yeah, it depends on how long they sat in there because
like some of that candy been sitting in there
because
since
when you try to take the wrapper off, it sticks and it's sticky and it's slimy.
Yeah.
If you catch grandma when she has some fresh strawberries in there,
those are fire when they fresh.
Or some Werthers.
Well, the Werthers, yeah, for sure. Don't get twisted. I'll still eat the strawberries. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, the old ones.
Grandma, when did you buy these strawberry candies?
Yeah, that's all that she would have. And I don't know if it's.
She's gonna trot out the same candy. She put it away every holiday.
Now my brother said he thinks there's some kind of secret store that when you get a certain age, that they pretty much gift.
That's where you get them cookies that come in that blue tin.
Well, you can actually get those at Big Lots.
Hey, those are fire.
Big Lots
candies.
You buying food at Big Lots?
Here we go. Now we disrespecting Big Lots.
It's like if you go. It's like when you go to TJ Maxx and they got food. Like when you try, I'm like, I'm not buying food.
Hey,
I'm getting
the ones in the tin are fire though. The ones in the tin are fire. They got the white paper to split the two levels.
Cookies and stuff in it.
Cookies, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, most of the time when you open that container, it's needles and thread. It's not even cookies in there.
That's
bobby pins.
My mom when she it's that. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, you take that second sheet off of white paper off and then go to the next level.
A lot of those cookies were very good though. I mean, some of them.
One with the little sugar sprinkles on it wasn't bad.
Those are fire.
I like the. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Have y'all had
those are better than nougat?
They're like the chewy Christmas. They're like white and black. They're white and red, like on the outside. But then there's like the little Christmas tree in the middle, and it's like a chewy peppermint.
Yeah, I know what
candy.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
they said the same kind of one.
That's how I knew my parents were starting to get a little old because I came home for Christmas. I was like, wow, we got these.
They must have got their package in the mail.
Yeah, because I'm like, where do you even buy this? Because I don't know. I'm not old enough to know.
It's kind of like those Halloween candies that are in the orange and brown wrappers. What are those?
Oh, those are for you know who gives those out? People who hate kids.
Yeah, those are trash.
That peanut butter candy.
Yeah, those are trash.
Those are horrible.
Yeah, those are trash.
That would be like the last thing in my bag.
I've never seen those in a store to buy.
I don't either.
They just come out.
They just come out.
Yeah, they just come out at that store. Terry brother was talking about probably like
it's some secret store.
You probably get them at Ollie's. Yeah, Ollie's. Don't disrespect Ollie's. Don't disrespect
Ollie's and Big Lots is the same thing pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect Ollie's, man. They cracking up in the chat.
For your food?
Huh?
That's where you go food shopping.
No,
my mother.
They got nice rugs.
My mother-in-law calls
Ollie's shopping for food.
The old man store.
I got an uncle that will go
find a deal.
My Uncle Tim will go once a week down in Georgia just to go see what they got in there that was on TV. I promise y'all, he go in there
at Ollie's.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm an old person and I'm on a fixed income and I'm looking for a good deal on some random cool electronic thing, or who knows?
No, you go in there and get you a television antenna.
Man, you go in there and get you some Keurig cups for the low. Man. I'm telling you, they have a whole pallet full of Keurig cups. Yeah. Be marked all the way down to like $7.
They got nougat 3 for $5.
They got a whole selection of nougat.
You can probably get a roll of nougat at Ollie's.
Yeah, man.
Is that how they serve it? Is how you get it?
I don't know. You have to ask Lone. I don't know how they serve it.
I'm legit gonna look for some nougat, man.
See, you get nougat and rolls. Is that how? That's the unit of measurement they use for nougat.
Use a roll
because the nougat in the Milky Ways and the nougat in the Three Musketeers is fire.
It is.
All right.
I just didn't know, man. All right, so we've clearly this is gonna pop up somewhere. I know this is great conversation.
Good talk.
Let's go to this last topic. They cracking up in the thread, man. All right, let's go to this last topic before we get out of here. Battle rapper Murda Mook. I think everybody here knows who that is.
Yeah.
We all know the rise of the battle rap culture. Mm-hmm. Like Loaded Lux came out with Wilder. Like when brought him to the ring. Like battle rap is really
no good.
Don't do that. Battle rap has grown like a lot. Like it is doing good. They're doing really good. And I didn't even like battle rap, but I started watching it more and appreciating the skill set because it is a skill set there that most MCs don't have. Like,
his arms are sweaty.
Yeah, mom's spaghetti. But there's a video that surfaced of him being Murda Mook, being upset that Drake is supposed to be hosting a URL rap battle, and he said his main quote was, "This is supposed to be for us." Mm-hmm. So my question to you,
supposed to be brothers.
My question to you all is he messing up in terms of a bag? Because I would think Drake would bring notoriety to battle rap versus how Mook is looking at it. Like I think Mook is looking at it as a trying to commercialize battle rap or something. I don't know. To me, he's missing the ball. I would welcome Drake to host it because of the eyes that would come with it. I don't know what y'all think. Lone, I'll come to you first. What do you think? I think he's dropping the ball. I would welcome Drake.
That was the first thought that I had was, why wouldn't you want somebody as big as Drake to host something that you're a part of? But at the same time, like, I get where he's coming from, because Drake's got a lot of rumors and confirmed rumors about him not writing his own stuff. There's a lot of pride involved in battle rap culture and writing your own stuff, and that's kind of what it's about, being a true MC and all that good stuff. But
they had a little stuff going on between each other too about a possible battle also. So maybe that's
between Drake and Murda Mook.
Yeah, they had a I don't know what it was. It was a while back. Rumblings kind of came up where it was a possibility, but
I mean, I'd like to see Drake battle Pusha T.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
We're not gonna see that.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, Lon, go ahead.
No, those are the first things that came to mind. Was I could understand where he's coming from if that's a part of something that he's a part of, but it would bring so many eyes on it.
That's the way I saw it.
So you could be potentially kind of messing some stuff up. I don't know if Murda Mook has that type of clout to get URL to potentially change stuff up or not, because me personally, I can respect what battle rappers do. I just don't enjoy it.
It's definitely
pausing and the back and forth, like, just say what you're gonna say, and then the crowd's always in the way. It's just, I don't know.
It's a different skill set.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's not writing songs.
It's not.
It's different. It's true. It's emceeing, and so I can respect it, but it's not for me particularly. I do feel like somebody like Drake would probably bring more eyes on it, but maybe it's not the eyes that necessarily everybody wants.
Jay Diff, is Mook just being, just a purist to battle?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Was
Go ahead.
Purist. I mean, that's essentially what it is. But I mean, Drake is just hosting it. He's not
in it,
participating as a contender, or you know what I'm saying. So why not welcome it? Especially if it's going to bring more eyes to your brand. There's no point in pretty much in this position biting the hand that feeds you, and not saying that he's not already getting it or he's not doing well off what he's doing, but there's no reason not to invest in more stock in your brand. And he's probably the most perfect example of somebody to use in order to do that at this stage.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Jay Moore.
In a way, I really do understand. It's the same way I feel about DJs who like to play the Cha-Cha Slide and what's the other, what are those records? The slides.
I know. Yeah, I know where you're going. The wobble.
Those are reserved for family events and people that.
But see, this is the thing.
Book me
when you play those records,
party.
and this is where I'm going to tie all this together. Okay, yeah, you got everybody on the dance floor, it's popping, but then as soon as those records go off, those people walk off the dance floor because you've done what you can't top what that was.
Right.
If you bring Drake into this, unless you're going to bring him back every time.
Yeah.
The attention, okay, it's there for Drake. It's not there for the actual, artistry of battle rap. And when you take Drake out of the mix, the same way if you stop playing the Cha-Cha Slide or the wobble, those people walk off the dance floor. Those same eyes are not going to be there unless Drake comes back. And if Drake's not planning to come back, it's just going to go back to being what it is.
You look at it from a retention standpoint.
That's a valid point. But in the same token, to follow up with what you said, the difference is the Cha-Cha Slide and those dance records are just that. So that doesn't necessarily fall on the DJ per se. In this particular instance, or they're not, it doesn't matter if these people are coming back to your party or not, because these are, well, in my case, they're more private parties. So that same person's probably going to book me again and ask me to play that song again. But in this particular instance, with a battle rap hosted by Drake, people that may not have paid attention to battle rap at all are now in tune to it. So they might
come and
they might tune in and be like, oh, this is kind of cool, I like it, and kind of dig it from there. So he can actually bring in some fans versus everybody just being, oh, I only watched it for Drake. I mean, because he's only hosting it.
Yeah.
He's not rapping. He's not doing anything else but that. But
I guess my train of thought is I would be willing to risk that extra set of eyes just to see if we can keep some of them to stay after it's over. Is what I'm saying.
5% of the people who showed up just for Drake.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. But I understand that's actually a good comparison. Like, I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. But I would just use it. I'd use it to the advantage and hope, you can retain.
Just sell out. Yeah, that's.
I think that's where Mook is coming from too. I think Mook feels that.
I do too. That's the only reason why I said that. I feel
like, why we bring this radio dude in?
Or maybe he needs to have a contingency that Drake needs to do a song with Little Brother in order to be able to host this.
That's not going to happen.
Don't get me started.
I don't know why not.
Don't get me started on that. That's one of the biggest lies in rap history. Oh my God, I love Fonte and Little Brother. I grew up on them. Oh man,
they did records together.
Yeah.
Nah, but I'm talking about I need
Nice
Fonte.
Wonder produced records for Drake.
Yeah, but I need Fonte on Take Care, giving you work on track 8. That's the lie where it's like I appreciate you.
Records are not going to have
that. Exactly.
Yeah, so no.
What you think, Lone?
Is what it is.
Yeah, I ain't nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I shared a link in the chat for some homemade nougat chocolate malt.
Oh, you didn't find it for real, did you?
Yeah,
chocolate malt.
Shouts to Abe who shared some.
So everybody want to get their nougat recipes together for the holidays.
Nougat with
if you got white friends coming over.
Hey, nougat with chocolate malt, like in Milky Way bars.
Yeah,
there it is.
It looks like
cooked crack.
Yeah, there you go. Share with
sugar.
There you go, Long.
Make me some.
make good holiday memories with your white friends with nougat.
Get your spoonful and enjoy.
How about that, Long?
Mix it in with your cookie dough batter.
So I wasn't too far off, man. Yeah, I was close.
I have no idea, to be honest.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen somebody make homemade nougat.
Nah,
as well, you shouldn't.
I had to look it up. I guess it's like honey mixed with almonds and nuts and stuff, beaten to an egg batter, and I didn't even know that.
How do they come up with this stuff?
Nice.
Like, who decides?
It sounds very European.
I think it is.
It sounds what?
I think it's Italian.
I'm gonna just throw some stuff together and create something.
Yeah. I mean,
now we have nougat.
Wow.
Enjoy. And who gave it that name?
Yeah.
Aristotle.
His name
is Giannis Nougat.
Yes.
Giannis Nougat.
Well, the chat is
and shouts to the flood throwing up in the chat.
Yeah, he definitely just threw up in the chat. Nate Jeezy actually said you are exactly right, Jay Moore, and I'm thinking that is in reference to your comparison about the wobble and those records. So I think he was on point with you there.
Now, if Drake is going to do some sort of partnership and maybe be in a position where he does this, even if it's just like quarterly, then it's like, okay, then we can build around that. But if you're just going to bring him on once.
Smooth Hoosier says Drake brings eyes that would never look at a battle, which you talked about, could be a good or bad thing.
True, because they're going to be like, well, when are they going to play some songs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because if you're a Drake fan and you just turn in and see a couple of dudes who are insulting each other and kind of rapping.
Why you say it like that?
Come on, man. Sometimes we see this, and like this is why a lot of these rap battles end in quote unquote end in violence.
Yeah.
Because it goes too far.
Like getting all up in everybody's faces and
I'm
stuff.
sorry, I stopped enjoying me. Like, because it'd be one thing if they were playing a beat, but they're just up there just like
that used to be my hang up. I was
you mad because I'm styling on you.
Somebody get some spit on me,
bro, like
kind of rap in my face like
Long to your point, that used to be one of my hang ups was the poetry style where it's like,
and I don't like poetry.
I know you don't. They stop for 10 seconds and then say the same bar back again and the crowd reacts. I'm like,
no, my double E. No, I doubled E. No, I doubled him.
Oh, y'all didn't catch that.
No. See, this is the thing. It's not, to me, it's not even a rap battle. It's just like mean-spirited spoken word.
Come on, man.
I'm not paying money to that. I'm not going to watch that.
The skill set's better than that now. These dudes is creative.
Is it really?
Yeah, they
for some of them, but for a lot of these dudes coming up, I'm like,
to remember 3 rounds of something like that, to be able to pull that up on, you got to give them P's for that.
It's definitely talent.
Sometimes that's why they have to double back so that they can remember exactly what they wrote.
Like when they lose me in a rap battle when somebody started saying, "I said," and they said again, "I said." No.
Y'all, we heard you the first time, fam.
Y'all didn't hear it. I said.
Mike Jones started that trend.
We didn't think what you said was that dope. That's why,
That's where they lose me, but I respect the skill set. I used to be that person. But
I feel like there's just a certain moment when somebody says something, the crowd just knows it's like a teleprompter and be like, "Oh," like every time. And maybe I'm just slow. But I'm just like,
this is when you're supposed to cheer.
Like, hold up, was that line really that great?
No.
Hey, them dudes they remember a lot of bars.
And did they really catch it that fast?
Right.
Remember a lot of bars. All right, man. That's gonna do it. Red August says keep going. That's not gonna do it. All right, so
you can play it off a little better.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm
5 years into it.
I'm trying. It's 5-year anniversary, so I'm having okay, now
just as long as we were. Last week we were under.
Okay.
And the week before when you were here, we were 10 minutes over, by the way.
You almost got fired, low key.
I looked at it, I was like, I gotta trim 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. I think we cleared now.
I forgot.
All right, so search everything that you can on Google that's related to New Old Heads, and make sure you stop by YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We appreciate the chat as always. Stick around for the post show, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Goodbye.
Yeah.